All right, Shalom. First off, we want to start by giving all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakal Kodash. Dub honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, and honors and salutations to you brothers that's preaching His word in sincerity and truth. As you can see on the screen, it's a little article that came out, man. Pretty much centering around this coming World War III. You know, this third World War, shall I say? All right, in which DJ Trump, man, he's doing a hell of a job. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai on the left hand side, you know, of agitating these nations, saying the right things, making the right moves to further prophecy being fulfilled, man. All right, for Esau being destroyed, really. Okay, it's so it's on RT.com. It says, tweet down to the apocalypse. U.S. recklessness on Iran could trigger mother of all wars. It says, once again, U.S. foreign diplomacy has boiled down to a series of inflammatory comments via social media, with the U.S. leader this time threatening Iran with consequences as talk of sanctions and blockades heats up. Late on Sunday night, Donald Trump, Supreme Commander-in-Chief of his Twitter feed, launched into the void of darkness a screaming, all caps, invective address to Iranian President Hassan Rouhani. It says, to Iranian President Rouhani, never ever threaten the United States again, or you will suffer consequences the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before. We are no longer a country that will stand for your demented words of violence and death. Be cautious. Ah, yes, nothing like the sweet sound of calm and composed chatter between bickering state leaders, especially at a time when the world is straddling a nuclear weapon cage the size of Mount Everest. Trump's latest over-the-top outburst came in response to a statement by Rouhani, who just the day before was quoted as saying the Americans must understand that peace with Iran is the mother of all peace, and war with Iran is the mother of all wars. Rouhani, a moderate, progressive-minded politician who enjoys robust support at home as well as respect on the international stage, went on to say that the Islamic Republic will certainly defeat America because ongoing threats against the Iranian people will only serve to unite them. It says, considered in its entirety, the comment sounds less like a threat aimed at the United States, as Donald Trump seems to have interpreted it, and more of a reminder as to what a full-blown military conflict between the U.S. and Iran, a showdown that would pull other serious players into the fray, will look like. Indeed, in the event of such a scenario, the world would expect nothing short of World War III, or the war to end all wars, at least for a very long time. See, they know that this coming third war is going to be the war to end all wars according to the scriptures. You know, they know the severity of this war. That's why they're attempting to stop it from happening. Yet it's prophecy, you know. So it's inevitable. It says that is why we need to hear more such threats, not less, if the human race is to avoid a global conflagration that could wipe out life on the planet as we know it. But I digress. It says the inflammatory rhetoric between Washington and Tehran has been escalating ever since Trump withdrew the U.S. from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action in May, the Obama-era deal, which obliged Tehran to give up 98% of its enriched uranium, while keeping the remainder far below enrichment levels, gave Iran much needed relief from UN imposed sanctions. Although the International Atomic Energy Agency has certified Iran's full compliance with the conditions of the agreement that's signed by Iran and the 5 permanent UN Security Council members, Russia, China, the US, UK, France, and Germany, Trump has slammed it as one of the worst deals ever. Now the U.S. president is expecting America's increasingly irritated European allies to support U.S.-led sanctions against Iranian oil supplies or risk the possibility of being sanctioned themselves by Washington. The question remains as to how long such a double-edged foreign policy agenda that hurts allies and enemies alike can continue. Yeah, because these European countries, man, they're being hurt by these sanctions, okay? You know, following behind the U.S., man, okay? Because them countries depend on the resources from these other countries, you know, countries like Russia, Iran, you know, in which the U.S. Is pretty much cutting it off. They're sanctioning and they're threatening their allies to do the same, or else pretty much get dealt the same way. Pretty much, you know.
Preset.
Yeah. Okay.
It's right.
Oh, okay. So like, let me pull it up. Okay. What verse?
7.
Okay. All right, you can go.
Pride is hateful before the Most High and man. By both doth one commit iniquity, and that's basically like you going into on the article saying how Trump he's making these other nations mad by being proud.
Yep.
Telling them that if y'all not on the bandwagon with me, so to speak, that I'm gonna come against y'all too. And then even for the dealing with Iran and them, you keep on harassing them, saying you want to change the agreement that they already had an agreement on with the prior presidents before you. All right, and then you just keep on talking the gang of mess. It's like with Russia, you was like, if we're trying to have things be peaceful, but if we was ever to fall out, that would be the worst enemy you could ever have. Like, just saying nothing but proud statements. And how are you trying to so-called find peace with these people when you're saying things like that? You don't see these other nations doing that. Saying Iran saying just reckless words, or Putin saying reckless words like that. Because they understand if you want to be peaceable with other nations, all right, you got to deal a certain way. But America is so proud that they don't act like that.
Mm-hmm.
And really, it's Trump. That's why Trump's the perfect guy that's to set up as president, because he's the guy that's going to just say whatever, be the epitome of a regular Babylonian man, a proud Babylonian.
Yep.
And he's gonna say whatever comes to his mind. He just lets it out. He doesn't even care if he offends or what. If you offended, oh well, that's how he feels about it. And then if you ain't agreeing with what they say, to hell with you. Basically, what Trump is saying.
Yep.
All right, he goes like, oh, we could put sanctions on you too, just like how the other comments he said before about the UN. He was like, oh, y'all not contributing to the money. We put in the most money, so if y'all not putting in, then we're gonna stop putting in money. Like, you know, trying to just basically just causing problems.
Yep.
Basically, and that's so-called white man. He calls it problem, reaction, and solution.
Yeah, okay.
But the way he's doing it is he's just doing it just like outlandish. You know, just saying whatever, basically trying to provoke World War III, so to speak. Because it ain't even like they making the first move. They trying to provoke the other nations that started. So then he could be like, see, now we're going to do World War III because they came against us.
Yep.
Not even acknowledging everything that you said to provoke the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a so-called white man for you. He want to push you to the point to where you's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to war with you because I'm tired of you messing with me. That's what he want to push these nations to do, to the point to where they just say fuck it and go to war. They ready to go to World War III.
Yep.
Because the white man wants that, man. This economy is broke. He want to go to war. That's the only way he gonna make some money.
Mm-hmm. And through the spirit, ultimately, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai wants this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's His will. It's according to prophecy, man. That's why all these so-called peace talks are. These meetings, you know, they're all coming to naught. All right, because it's not the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know. All right. The Lord's will is for this World War III to come to pass, for these nations to rise up against Esau, against Trump. You know. All right, for this place, for Babylon to be destroyed ultimately. You know. You have Morag?
No, that was it on that.
Okay.
I had a different preset.
Oh, go. All right, cool. Okay. You know, so this thing is it's unavoidable, man. All right, you can't avoid prophecy. You can't offset the prophecies. You know, all right. You can only fulfill the prophecies, man. Whether you're on the left hand side or the right hand side, you're still doing the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, as the scriptures say, who has resisted His will? You got it, brother.
It's Obadiah 1 and 2.
Yeah, come.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen; thou art greatly despised.
Mm-hmm.
And that's America, man. America's greatly despised by all these nations, man. And why is that? Because of the things that they do. You like, I forgot how the scripture says it exactly. Who basically you go to you. You go to
Habakkuk,
everybody,
the second chapter.
Habakkuk, you go into everybody else's country and taking their resources or worried about their situation.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of worried about what's going on in your country. And when they try to get on you about it, you walk out the UN Council, they getting on you about what you're doing in America. You walk out the meetings, you don't want to hear what they got to say about what you do, but then everybody has to sit back and just be quiet when you got to speak, when you had the floor. But then you don't want to hear nothing about what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, you try to deflect the comments and the comments that are made towards you. You know, when you're being called out on your wickedness, you know,
Mm-hmm.
on your hypocrisy.
Yeah.
You know.
And it says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
Yeah, that pride, man. Habakkuk, the second chapter. His soul is lifted up with that pride, man, with wickedness, man. You know, and that pride has deceived you.
And that's how, for you niggas that say the so-called white man is Esau, who else is that proud?
Yep.
A goddamn Gook ain't proud. All right, they'll shut the fuck up. East Indian, they not proud. All right, Samoans, they docile.
Yeah.
All these other nations, they not really as proud as the Edomite, man. These so-called white people. For all you niggas that say that the so-called white man is an Esau, they the only nation that's the proudest nation out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
That walk with all that pride, thinking you better than everybody else. Everybody gotta listen to you. Can't disagree with you. Can't tell you about what you doing wrong, but you can get on everybody else. The only one who acts so that the proudest on the earth, man, is so-called white people.
Yep.
That's why it says the pride of thy heart had deceived thee, man. You're so proud that you're proud and arrogant that you ain't gonna listen to nothing that anybody say, and it's deceiving you, man. You think you going in? Here it is, Trump saying that his army is the best army out there. You really think you're gonna win? You're deceived.
Yep. Yeah, and you don't. Esau so filled with that pride that he don't even see that all this is leading to his decline, his destruction. Just like the scriptures say, pride coming before a downfall. You know, this whole time you're so deceived by your own wicked ass pride that you don't even understand that it's leading to the downfall of your society, leading up to this World War III, Stirs World War, okay, and leading up to the destruction of your rulership, man. You know, that's how reprobate you Edomites are, man, and that's beautiful. All right, yeah, more.
Oh yeah.
God.
The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
Yeah, they're talking about you Edomites, you Caucasians, you cave dwellers. All right, you know. Go ahead, Doc.
Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Yep, and that's you don't know you got it, bro.
That's their mentality.
Mm-hmm.
They thinking who's gonna actually come against me and win. I dare anybody. I dare any of y'all to try to go to war with me. You're gonna lose. That's the type of mentality that they have. Just like with the army, the weak ass army commercials, the strong, the proud, the brave.
Yeah, you got trainees in your army, man. The fuck is strong and proud? What is brave and strong about a man that's chopping off his members, all right, in other state, got demons on him, thinking that he's a woman, and vice versa with these women, all right, chopping off their parts, taking these hormone pills. It's bugged out, fighting for your country, fighting on your behalf. This shit is a joke, man. You got it.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, this will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord is gonna bring you down, man. He gonna let you. He gonna keep on pumping you up with that pride, and you gonna be ready. You so amped to go to war with these other nations, going in there thinking that you're gonna win. You got the best nukes, the best military, the best this and that. Then after you start up the war, you gonna find out that you don't got shit. You gonna have the weakest military, all right, the weakest troops out there, the weakest jets, weakest missiles. Everything is trash about your army. These other nations, man, they got the best. Russia got the best technology, man, and they helping these other nations get their technology in order.
Yep.
To come against you, because they in alliance to destroy you, man. But you got that pride on you, thinking that you're gonna go in there defeating when you got more people against you than you're going against way more people, and you really think that you're going to win. That's how proud the so-called white man is. He's not even thinking about number wise that you're literally outnumbered.
Yep.
All the other nations that want to go to war with you combined together, they literally outnumber you, but you think you're going to win.
That's right.
That's the pride, but that's that pride. That's why it says going into Obadiah that pride deceived you, because you really think you have a chance, the smallest chance of winning against these other nations going to war, when they have way more bodies and way more missiles to shoot at this place than whatever you could possibly do.
Yeah. But
that's how proud that these so-called white people are. They're not considering that option. The only option in their mind is that they're going to win, like in they whack ass movies, man. Esau always got to win the battle. When that's you're not winning this battle, man. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to win it.
That's right. Yep. And all these nations, they're seeing it. They're seeing Esau's standing alone. Really, they're talking to the allies. They're talking to Europe. Pretty much, don't worry about the U.S. We'll cover you. We'll take care of you. You don't have to put up with this devil no more. All right. And all these countries are preparing for war, like it says in Joel the 3rd chapter. They're getting their military and their arsenal and their missiles prepared, all right, for this war, as the Lord has commanded it. Matter of fact, I'll bring it out unless you have something.
No, you can bring it out.
Yeah, come. Okay, and that's what that's what these people are afraid of. We just reading an article, it leading up to the point of no return, and that's exactly where it's going, man. This is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, the heathen nations. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And they're doing what they're commanded by Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua. These nations are preparing war. Okay. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what they're doing. They're putting these countries are putting more of their time and effort and money into building up their military might, okay, versus worrying about their agriculture, man. Okay, and the weak are saying they are strong. These weak nations, man. These nations that Esau was once able to punk, talk shit about, make threats. All right, I believe on the land of Ammon, Ammonites, Esau had the what is it, little boy fat man or yeah, I believe. Yeah. He dropped them bombs on them and it put the rest of these nations in fear. Put Ammon into subjugation. All right, even though Ammon already backed down before the bombs were let off. Yeah, Esau was like, fuck that, man. I'm still dropping the bombs, and they're still fucked up to this day, man. All right. Yet now these other nations, man. Now the Lord is strengthening them, strengthening their military might and giving them more confidence that they can take down this devil, that they can take down you Edomites, man. America, okay? That's why you see these comments going back and forth, all right, with Russia, China, Iran, you know, North Korea, lightweight, they're still gonna get back on their talks, man. Like pretty much talking against and coming up against the U.S., man. Okay, because all those so-called peace talks and agreements, they're going to go null and void. Well, Esau just proves, just like it says in this article, how he backed out of the agreement that they made with Iran and with these other countries, man. Esau has backed out of that, among other agreements, man. So that it goes to show that this devil, he can't be trusted. You can't there's no reasoning with Esau, you know. The only talks he understand is violence, because he's a violent homosexual. Okay, that's the only time Esau gets it. Verse 11: Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, the Most High's judgment. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Yeah, because ultimately the Lord is going to judge all these heathen nations, man. Okay, I believe it's Zephaniah 3:8. The Lord is going to judge these heathen nations for all they have done to the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Psalms the 83rd chapter, all right, speaks on how they're conglomerate. They're pretty much with one breath. Okay, they have a conspiracy against the nation of Israel. You don't see no so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in them the meetings, some UN meetings and them summits. Yet you see your enemies have a seat there. All these other countries, all these other nations, they know who the Israelites are, man, and they know who the devil is. Okay, you know. So the Lord is gonna get all these nations in one big swoop. All right. It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great.
And you see that the Lord getting everything lined up
Yep.
to happen out there for that great judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that's how you know the scriptures is real, man. We already know that. All right, I'm just saying that's another example in itself. Because everything's getting heated up out there. What's the one place that Esau hasn't taken over yet out there in the Middle East, man?
Yep.
All right, and that's his main focus.
Yeah.
And he still hasn't got it after all these years. He done took out Libya, all the other countries around it, but he still hasn't got the one that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he gonna lose when he go into battle out there, man. That's when he gonna get that. He finally gonna take that L. That's just gonna finish him off.
Yep.
And he gonna after that L, you getting that chain slapped on you.
Yep. Yeah, it said, like the scripture saying, Jeremiah, the least of the flock shall draw them out.
Yep.
Talking about them Amalekites and rats. Cause that's everything that America, Esau does is to reassure their allies, the Israeli rats. Backing out of the Iran deal, slapping sanctions.
Not saying nothing about them
Yep.
Israelis killing fucking them Palestinians
Yeah.
left and right.
Gun.
They don't say shit on the news about it, but it's all on social media and shit about little Pakistanis getting shot up. Them rats out there laughing at them saying "Die, you little bitch." But then it's not none of that is none of that is out on the main news.
Mm-hmm.
Cause they're that's who their master is, man. They listening to them rats out there following orders.
Yep. And that pride, is going to lead America into following behind them rats. They're only going to do so much, screaming out, yeah, Iran is preparing war against the Israelis, and we got to do something. We're not going to wait. You know, they're only going to say that so much to the point where they're just going to roll into the country of Iran, and America's going to blindly follow them, man.
Yep.
You're going to be led into that ditch, man, that pit of destruction. You know, and it's going to be no turning back after that, man. Then you're going to get hit with a slew of reality, along with this place being hit with a slew of missiles, man. You know, by all these countries, may I add, man. All right. These countries ain't with ain't with America, ain't with Esau. All right, because the Lord ain't with this place, man. So it says, verse 14, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Yep, and that's what we're seeing. The day of the Lord's judgment drawing nearer and nearer. All right, with these prophecies coming to pass. You know, discerning the signs and the times that the Lord told us to look out for, with us being what? The watchmen. Habakkuk, the second chapter, you know, the prophecies are not tarrying in their speaking, you know, like the brother was saying, the Lord is bringing these words to pass, showing that the scriptures are true, that these are the actual words of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, man, and they're coming to pass. And Esau knows what time it is, man. We were just reading in an article, seeing how this would be the war to end all wars. You know, that's all scriptural. Revelation speaks about three woes, man. All right, that devil, Einstein, I believe he said. I don't know how he
How
said.
World War III will be fought. Or
Yeah.
World War IV will be fought with sticks and
So yeah,
stones.
because it's not going to be no more war after this one, man. These people know it. Okay, Esau know what's up. These wicked elites, they know the prophecies, and that's why they're preparing to get their deep underground military bunkers. Okay, they're attempting to go out into space. They're getting ready to attempt to flee from this destruction, to fulfill prophecy, really, because they're going to be the first crop of slaves when the smoke clears. All right, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. All right, more Trump being the demon that he is. All right, leading this place closer and further into destruction, man. All right. So with that, hopefully this was edifying for you brothers, man. We're gonna go ahead and close out once again, giving all praises to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
by
by
Hashem,
Hashem,
Yahweh
Yahweh
Shai,
Shai,
by
by
Hashem,
Hashem,
Rakal
Rakwadash.
Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, and Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakal Kodash, Barakat to the elect. All right, Shalom.
Shalom.